Do some Q&A on the CU podcast.
Because I'm sputtering.
At JHL Moon, Jessica.
Hello, Jessica.
Thoughts on retro stores clearly marking repro carts for exorbitant prices, i.e., $130 for a repro Dinosaur Peak?
Yeah, I've always thought this was a fucking ridiculous thing to do. Just because the original game is expensive does not mean that the repro cart should be expensive. It should be... Repro carts are dubious, and I don't know that... let me put it this way. When I go to a convention and I see repro carts for sale, I don't really bat an eye. I guess I'm just used to it. But in an actual store, I'm weird on seeing repro carts. If it's something that's never like come out, possibly. But if long and short of it, if you're gonna sell a repro cart in a store, don't try to boost its value because it's a rare game. A repro cart, especially with another ROM on it, I mean, isn't one that's come out that's not a homebrew. That's not legal. Two, if you're going to try to get away with it anyways, at least be a decent person and charge the cost of materials plus like a small profit on top. And honestly, I
would even do that. I would say don't fucking
sell it. I would say don't sell it,
Yeah,
but I'm just saying...
I'm not comfortable with any profit on
No,
it.
but I'm just saying if you're going to, I would say the materials back is basically all you should really be able to get away with.
You shouldn't gain anything for your time because you didn't put it together yourself. You bought it from fucking AliExpress. First of all.
Oh, okay. I'm talking about. I'm just saying if someone there had made it, or if,
no, at this point, all these are getting bought from AliExpress for $9 each.
Yeah, then fuck it.
There's no reason to cannibalize games anymore. We're way past that point.
Yeah.
So these are all coming from AliExpress. They're coming from China, other parts of Asia, and unfortunately, you do see it now. You do see at some shows, some video game shows. The ones that I like don't allow it. They'll see repro games. They might be okay with the homebrew ones, but like the repros where people are selling repro Dinosaur Peaks. Absolutely not.
That sort of shit is a no go. I guess I'm more thinking about because I always mistake it. When I say repro, I let things like Zelda hacks slide in there, and I guess that's not what I'm talking about. Yeah, a repro like Dinosaur Peak, a straight up AliExpress repro, one that's not, especially one that's not made by someone who had to cannibalize something or something like that. Blow me at $130. That's fucking ridiculous.
They're trying, because at that point they're trying to legitimize a counterfeit market. They're trying to say, well, this is an $800 game normally, so the repro is worth $130 when the cost of it was $10 to get, or whatever, $15. So they're trying to create, and I will fight against this till my dying breath. That you that's why I have zero tolerance for it. Zero. It's counterfeit.
Yeah, it's
the only difference is that it doesn't. They're not going to get in trouble because if you go to the police and say, well, they're selling some repro Nintendo games, they'll be like, we don't care. But there's been, going back in the day, if these are like Armani bags that people smuggled over that they're trying to sell, oh no, that shit will be. You'll be in jail for selling that. I think what was the article I saw from the 80s when there was a bunch of like counterfeit Game & Watches in the 80s that were seized because Nintendo complained about them. So just because it's games doesn't mean it can't get people's attention. But being that retro gaming is so niche, it's not like you're selling again designer clothing or a knockoff TV that says Sony on it, where you'll get the pain of people coming down on you. These are games that have been out of the market for so long that people wouldn't know or care, or wouldn't be worth their time to go after them. AliExpress has gotten into trouble though, and was it Alibaba, the father company, for not doing enough to come down against counterfeit items because it's the Wild West obviously for counterfeit items. Yeah. So I think there has been some penalties against them from various countries. Obviously, the U.S. is one of the tops for trying to combat piracy and counterfeit items. But obviously, you can still get whatever you want out there. But again, I don't see why you wouldn't. These repros most likely look like shit anyway. spending that $130, I would hope would never.
Yeah, I don't.
Get
Yeah, it
back.
doesn't even matter if it's. I don't care if it's clearly marked. I mean, it's still a counterfeit. You're still calling. I mean, you're still saying it's 130. That's just ridiculous.
Absolutely.